You're listening to the Packernet Podcast Network.
The power sweep actually is the lead play in our offense. We ask our YN or a tight end to open up somewhere between 6 feet and 9 feet, get an isolation with the linebacker. Tell the tackle to take the defensive end if he's over him. If he's not, to drive down on the first man to his inside. If the YN has the linebacker taken out, he cuts inside. If the YN has the linebacker in, he comes all the way around. If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here, and try to run this play in the alley.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. Email us, PackersTotalAccess@gmail.com. Text us 865-658-5824. Some of you were wondering, why in the heck are you live at 4:30 Central Time? Well, we had a little extra time, and I've got to get a ton of mock drafts in. So I thought, why not try to throw together a 7-round mock draft for the Packers using my personal draft board. The board isn't finished. As you guys have heard me say over and over and over, probably not going to be finished till about a week before the draft starts. So I'm just trying to fine tune, and I'm also kind of doing these little exercises where we can see, all right, who's looking like they may be available and the best value in the pick. So what I'm going to do is use the PFF mock draft simulator. So we're going to use that platform, and I'm going to have that on the screen for you guys. And I'm going to try to explain where these players sit on my board. And we're going to have this in podcast form as well. So we'll try to communicate as best we can what we're seeing here. Now, the problem is it's going to be a little bit long-winded because I'm going to have to mention every pick as I take them off of my board. Okay. So there'll be a little bit of dead air there. You guys just bear with me. Again, these are exercises we do every year. At least I do, using my draft board to kind of get everything fine tuned. And why not do it live? Why not go ahead and do it in podcast form too? Just a little extra content for you guys and gals that can't get enough of these mock drafts. So we're still going to do our normal time tonight, 7 p.m. Central for PTA Live. The guys will be with me. We got some cool topics there. A little bit of news broke. We got, one player, Tavondre Sweat. We'll talk about it tonight. Obviously had a little hiccup in personal issues that'll probably cost him some draft positioning. So we'll kind of talk about that and how it may play into the draft as well. So with that being said, just give a shout out. We got Chris Nye in the chat. We got Tim Reese. Good to see you, buddy. Ron Samble, Brent M. Funny, we just went live randomly. We got almost 100 people in here, man. Y'all are awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and kill my camera so you ain't got to stare at me the rest of the way. Go ahead and share the screen here. And sounds like everybody can hear me talking. I know we've done these solo before and look up 20 minutes in and people are like, hey, Clay, your mic's muted, bro. We can't hear you. So just confirm you can still hear me in the chat as I take myself off the screen here. I'm pretty sure you can. But we'll just jump right into it here if you can. So just waiting on that confirmation. What time did this start? Number one Packer fan. Just started right now, buddy. You got in just in time, man. All right. So I think everybody can hear us. So we're good. All right. Let's do it, man. Let's get this thing cranked up. Obviously, like I said, we're going to use the PFF mock draft simulator. So let's go ahead and start it. And I'm going to have to comb back through them and kind of see who was taken here. All right. So obviously no trade backs or trade ups, anything like that. We're going to just stick and pick. I think that's the best way to get this information in. So I'll kind of read these off as we go, and hopefully I don't take too long finding them on my board because my board does differ a lot from some of these databases. But number one, the Chicago Bears take Caleb Williams. Obviously no big surprise there, right? Number two, the Washington Commanders take Jaden Daniels, quarterback out of LSU. Another one, not a big surprise there. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears shocked the world and took Jaden Daniels with one. I really wouldn't. Now, would I put money on it? Absolutely not. It seems like Caleb Williams is going to be the guy. Drake May is another one that recently he's dropped on boards. He's number 6 on my board. He's actually significantly higher than Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels was 13th. Drake May is 6. And again, guys, I apologize. I won't be able to communicate with the chat too much here if we're going to get through this 7-round mock and then get the stream set up for tonight. So please don't think I'm ignoring you here. I know we got a bunch of people in the chat right now. So thank y'all for hopping on. All right. So at number 4, the Arizona Cardinals select Malik Neighbors, wide receiver out of LSU. That's an interesting pick. Marvin Harrison Jr. goes the very next pick at number 5 to the Chargers. Marvin Harrison Jr. is my second-rated player overall in this draft, only behind Joe Alt. And then let's see here, number 7, the Titans go Rome Odunze out of Washington. All right, so he is off the board. We have got before him actually. Looks like the Giants took J.J. McCarthy out of Michigan. So J.J. McCarthy, another quarterback. He's 44 on my board. I'm not as high on J.J. McCarthy, but that doesn't mean NFL teams aren't, obviously. I'm just a dumb redneck in here trying to figure the draft out. So Dallas Turner, edge defender from Alabama, is now off the board. Dallas Turner, I actually had him sitting at, he's pretty high on my board, I'm pretty sure, here as I comb through. I had him in the 28 spot. So a little bit of a reach there, but, you're probably going to see some edge defenders fly off the board if what Daniel Jeremiah said is accurate. He said that Latu, he'll probably be taken off somewhere between 18 to 20 boards. They'll just remove him from the first round boards. So simply because of the neck injury and the questions there. So you may see someone like Dallas Turner, Chop Robinson, Jared Verse, those type of guys come off the board a little bit sooner than Latu if Latu does start to sink there with that injury. So another thing too, I wish I could show you guys my board because I've got these guys lit up in red with injury concerns. And obviously with Tavondre Sweat's news breaking, same thing there. So that's, he's going to drop on my board. I want to know, I'm not going to move him down my board, but I want to know that there's issues there that would cause another team to not select him, if that makes sense. So I won't get into the details. We'll talk about it tonight as far as what happened with Tavondre Sweat. I'm sure you guys and gals already know about that. So number 9, the Chicago Bears get Joe Alt, the top-rated prospect on my board in the entire draft. The Bears get him at number 9. That is very interesting right there. Holy cow. That's wild. J.C. Latham at 10, coming off the board there to the Jets. So J.C. Latham is gone. He was in the 14 spot for me. Let's see what else we got here. Brock Bowers, the best tight end in the draft. He gets selected number 11 to the Vikings. I don't like this, guys. The Bears getting Joe Alt to protect the blind side of Caleb Williams, and then the Vikings getting the best tight end in the draft. That kind of sucks, ain't going to lie. But Brock Bowers is my 5th best prospect in this year's draft. So he is off the board. Let's see here. Terrion Arnold, cornerback. That should be a pretty solid pick there. He's a little bit lower on my board. I've got him at the 31 spot, so he is now gone. Let's see. Quinyon Mitchell, I'm pretty sure, is my top-rated corner. He's in the 12 spot. He has been selected. Let's see. Fashanu, tackle from the New Orleans Saints. I've got him in the 16 spot, so he's gone. Graham Barton, they've got him listed as a tackle. I think we all would agree he's probably going to play guard at the next level would be my bet. He's going to the Colts there at number 15. Someone who could play tackle in a pinch, but the arm length isn't ideal is what I'm hearing. So let's see here. Brian Thomas Jr., that's one of Jake Shavink's draft crushes right there. Number 16 going to the Seattle Seahawks. Again, that's Brian Thomas Jr. I think I've got him a little lower on my board if I remember correctly. And this is going to get me laughed at here, but again, I try not to let the opinions of others sway me when it comes to my board itself. I've got Brian Thomas Jr., right? Brian Thomas Jr. from LSU. I've got him in the 89 spot. And I'm going to double check it again to make sure I'm not missing anything there, missing a portion of the equation there, but just absolutely wild that he is considered one of the best wide receivers in the draft, and I've got him all the way down to 89. Fuaga, tackle, goes number 17. He's pretty high on the old board here. He's actually my second best tackle. He's in the number 7 spot, so he is gone. This is where you're going to see it potentially when the Packers pick at 25. There might be a couple of those top-tier tackles too, which is pretty wild. Pittsburgh goes with Jared Verse, edge defender out of Florida State at number 20. So he is gone. You continue to see these tier 1 positions of importance flying off the board for sure. Nate Wiggins, cornerback, goes 21. I have got Nate Wiggins in the 25 spot, so pretty solid there. Chop Robinson with the number 22 pick. I've actually got Chop in the 11 spot on my board. One of those guys I'm real high on there, another tier 1 position. Bo Nix, quarterback, going to the Vikings. I'll tell you, Bo Nix is he's in the 41 spot on my board. He's actually higher than JJ McCarthy on my board. Hearing people rave over him and hearing Greg Cosell interview him the other day, you're talking about an extremely high IQ quarterback. And I'm not talking about high IQ like a nerd. Like, you can just tell this dude, he loves ball. And it was just awesome hearing him talk about and answer questions from Greg Cosell. Great questions from Cosell. I mean, they don't call him the GOAT for nothing. He was asking questions like, what's the process in which you guys read the defense, in your time there at Oregon? He said, he went in great detail. We started with the boundary safety, worked our way to the SAM, basically boundary safety to the SAM. He said, if you key in on those two positions, it'll tell you 90% of the information you need in reading the defense. Guys, I've been watching football a long time. I've been trying to study football for a long time. I have never heard anyone specifically say that. And I was just like, that makes a lot of sense. What the safety does on the boundary side and what the Sam backer does, obviously on the strong side of the formation, can tell you a whole lot about the potentials of that defense. And at that point, it's okay if they're lined up, a certain way, each of those guys. All right, let's go ahead and X these defenses out of the equation. It's the whole thing that Greg Cosell was talking about. Elimination, right? He talked about coming to the line and evaluating the play, and then elimination, isolation. Eliminate what you know the defense can't be, and then narrow it down to, okay, it's probably going to be this. Now where's our isolation? Where's our matchup? So we're never going to get through this if I continue to talk about stuff like Bo Nix. So I just want to say that would suck if the Vikings got Bo Nix. I think he's one of those guys that high IQ. He may go on to be a decent quarterback in the league. I really believe that. Then at number 24, Amarius Mims is off the board to Dallas. So I wish I could show my board right now. Obviously, I can't because I can't share two screens at once on here. But the plan here really is the plan is to trust my board, essentially, right? And go with the best player available. So if we were to do that on my board right now, the best players available are Laiatu Latu, edge defender from UCLA, but you got the injury concerns, right? Seeing that edge isn't an immediate need for us and there are injury concerns, I'm going to have to pass on him. Next would be Jerzan Newton, also known as Johnny Newton, defensive lineman from Illinois. Then Byron Murphy, defensive lineman from Texas. And then Troy Fontana, tackle from Washington. Then Kool-Aid McKinstry in the 20 spot. You've also got Jackson Powers Johnson there as well. So when you kind of look at the tiers in which they would fall, the top tier talent is obviously Latu, but you got the injury. We're going to pass there. The next tier would fall under Johnny Newton and Byron Murphy. And then Fontana, Kool-Aid McKinstry would be in the next tier. And then Jackson Powers Johnson, a slot tier there. I do it in increments of 5 on my scoring system. So really what it comes down to is Johnny Newton's the best player available here. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to pull the trigger on Johnny Newton, and PFF agrees. So it sucks. You guys see Cooper DeJean sitting there. You're like, no, Clayton, take Cooper. That makes more sense. On my board, it doesn't. And I'm not saying Cooper's a bad player, but my board, he's in the 33 spot, several tiers below Johnny Newton. So if we're going to stick to my board here and go best player available, I'm going to take Johnny Newton here, defensive lineman out of Illinois. That is our pick. So he is off the board. So there you go. Now we're back on the clock at 41. Let's climb back up and just take a quick look at who was taken. Jackson Powers Johnson went 1 pick after us. There are some fans mad at me right now. Again, guys, this is just an exercise, okay? Not saying this is how I would pick my draft. If it were tomorrow, we're just kind of looking at the board that I've created and saying, okay, how's this thing going to fall? All right, Cooper DeJean goes. So those two guys kind of shows you there's a chance they could both be there. There's a chance they could both be gone, right? Xavier Worthy, wide receiver. I'm pretty sure I've got him fairly low on my board. And again, the Underwear Olympics skyrocketed him, right, towards the top of some people's boards. But Xavier Worthy, I've gotten the 110 spot. So kind of show you how little thought I put into the combine and all that. I'm leaning on the tape over the combine. I'm leaning on the grades over the combine for sure. Tyler Guyton is next. Obviously, offensive tackle. I've taken him a couple of times in some of my mocks. Let's see here. Tyler Guyton, where are you at, big dog? He is definitely listed as a tackle. So Tyler Guyton is in the 61 spot for me. So it seems like I'm usually taking him at that 58 when I have taken him. All right, let's see. You got Latu finally flies off the board there. Of course, he goes to Baltimore, right? That's just such a Baltimore thing to do. Take him and just turn him into an absolute superstar of a pass rusher. That's just what they do over there. Next is Kool-Aid McKinstry coming off the board. All right, so he is gone. I'll probably do this with my board for the first 3 rounds, then we'll just finish it out real quick with the PFF system. Jordan Morgan next, tackle. He was taken. He's in the 35 spot for me, so that's a pretty solid pick there where he was taken. Now we're into round 2, Ladd McConkey. I'm kind of big on Ladd McConkey. I've got him in the 50 spot, so he's off the board now. Next, you've got Kingsley Suamataia, tackle out of BYU. I think he's a little bit lower on my board, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I've got him down in the 59 spot. I've got several other tackles graded out higher than him for sure. Darius Robinson, edge defender from Missouri, one of those versatile guys. Some people are comping him to a J.J. Watt. He is now off the board there in the 35 spot. Ennis Rakestraw Jr., somewhere Tim just went into convulsions thinking about our man Ennis Rakestraw Jr. going somewhere other than the Packers. I've got him in the 34 spot. I've got a real high grade on him. He's a solid prospect for sure. Kamari Lassiter, we actually talked about him this morning on Good Morning Lambeau. He goes in the 37 spot here. I've got him at 53, so no love lost there. Missing out on him for sure at that spot. Troy Franklin, wide receiver, going in the 38 spot. Let's see where I've got Troy Franklin. I got Troy Franklin at 49. This draft board is pretty spot on because I'm not having to scroll much yet, which is kind of cool. It shows us that we're in the ballpark, right? Up next is wide receiver Adonai Mitchell going to Carolina. Adonai Mitchell on my board. As soon as I say that, watch me have to scroll for days now. Of course I would, right? Let's see, where's he at? I've got him, Adonai Mitchell, I have got in the 93 spot. Okay, so quite the reach there according to my board. And then we got tackle Roger Rosengarten from going to Washington. Actually played for Washington, the Washington Huskies on the West Coast, but is going to the Washington Commanders there with the number 40 pick. Again, that is Rosengarten. I'm trying to think of where I have him at on my board. There he is, number 83. Not bad. Okay, a little bit of a reach though, for sure. All right, so here we are on the clock. According to my board, this hurts. This stings. You know, we took Johnny Newton with the 25th pick, right? And these are the things you got to think about. These are the things the Packers are doing too, is trying to look and walk through every single scenario. We took Johnny Newton at 25, and I told you guys, he and Byron Murphy pretty much had the same grade on my board, right? Well, now the best player available on my board is Byron Murphy. And to the best of my knowledge, he is still available in here somewhere too. Let me go positions and see if that is the case. Byron Murphy. I must have missed him. So he has he's already been taken. Okay, so I missed one there. Good deal. Just want to double check. I was going to say if Byron Murphy is still there when we pick, holy cow. Let's see who took him. I must have skipped a few and overlooked them there. There he is, Byron Murphy, Cincinnati. So it was right after Fuaga, right? Okay, so he did go. All right, good deal. That makes me feel better. I was sitting there going, man, if I could have gotten Byron Murphy with the second round pick and missed out on those others, that would suck. Fontana's gone too. We see that. So to the best of my knowledge here, the best players available on my board are tight end Jatavian Sanders in the 24 spot. You got Braylon Trice, edge defender from Washington, in the 26 spot. Christian Haynes, guard out of UConn, in the 27 spot. And then you got Tavondre Sweat at 30. So obviously this is kind of a little bit of a decision to make. And basically what it comes down to for me is, obviously I don't think we should take a tight end here. And again, this isn't a reach because all these guys are in the same tier on my board. But really what it comes down to is two guys. Actually three guys. You've got Braylon Trice, edge defender from Washington, Christian Haynes, guard from UConn, and then Tyler Nubin, safety from Minnesota. All three of which pretty much have the same draft grade on them. They're going to be in the same tier on my board. So really what it comes down to is what's most important to you. Right guard, right? Safety, or edge defender. We're pretty well set at edge. It doesn't mean you won't take one if the board falls just right. And I think getting Braylon Trice there at 41 would be a steal. I really do. But when you're talking about potentially getting another starter here, right? Braylon Trice would not be playing a starting role. Christian Haynes would plug right in at right guard and be your starting right guard and play it well. I believe that with everything in me. Tyler Nubin could start as a box safety. So now you got to ask yourself.
Passion, drive, and patience. The formula for winning championships is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only, exclusions apply. This spring, make sure you're eating stress-free with Factor's delicious, ready-to-eat meals. Every single one of Factor's fresh, never frozen meals is chef-crafted, dietitian-approved, and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. Like literally 2 minutes. You can choose from a weekly menu of 35 options, including Calorie Smart, Keto, Protein Plus, Vegan, and Veggie. And they've got more than 60 add-ons every single week, like breakfast, on-the-go lunch, snacks, beverages. So there's nothing to wait for. Get started right away. If you're looking for something gourmet, they've got that too. They got premium ingredients like filet mignon, shrimp, truffle butter, broccolini, asparagus. I don't even eat that good. It's also going to be tailored to your schedule. You can customize your weekly meals with the flexibility to get as much or as little as you need, pause, or reschedule deliveries to suit your lifestyle. So head over to factormeals.com/PackDaddy50 to use code PackDaddy50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next box. That's code PackDaddy50 at Factor. Passion, drive, and patience. The formula for winning championships is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only, exclusions apply.
Which one's more important, right guard or box safety? Now you dig a little bit deeper and say, okay, what is stronger or weaker on the Packers roster? Last year, we had a top 10 offense. The defense struggled. The defense struggled specifically. We took a step back against the pass. So to me, I think it makes the most sense here at 41 to take Tyler Nubin over Christian Haynes. As much as I love Christian Haynes. And Christian Haynes, again, on my board, he's technically in the 27 spot. Nubin's in the 32, but they're in the same tier. So some would say, well, you're reaching for Nubin. Not if they're in the same tier. You essentially got the same grade on them, whether it's a 66 or a 65, whatever it may be. So I'm going to go Tyler Nubin here for sure, and just go ahead and button up that box safety spot. If we had re-signed Rudy Ford already, I might go a different route here and think, you know what, I'm okay with Rudy coming in and helping play in the box a bit alongside Xavier McKinney. But the fact that we still haven't re-signed Rudy Ford, I think that's the route I'm going to go here, just to kind of go ahead and button that up at safety. So I'm going to go Tyler Nubin at 41. Again, his average draft position is 39.4 on this platform. He's ranked 26 according to PFF, so he's definitely going to be gone before we pick again at 58. So let's go ahead and draft Tyler Nubin, safety out of Minnesota. I'm liking this draft so far, man. I'm digging it. Let's see here as I try to remember who it was. We took Johnny Newton with that first pick, right? So let me separate those for us. All right, so far our picks. At 25, we took Johnny Newton, defensive lineman out of Illinois, the top defensive lineman in the draft, interior defensive lineman. And then we took Tyler Nubin, the top safety in the draft. So I'm liking the way this is setting up so far. So let's go back here and we're going to do a couple of more picks here using my board, and then we'll just finish it out with the PFF. Let me see where we're at on time here. What are we, 22 minutes in? We're actually doing okay. Because I'm going to run out of prospects anyway eventually. I don't want to bore you guys to death, talking about every single pick. So let's see here. We got Xavier Legette. Might have the best accent in the entire draft. I don't think it's even close, to be honest with you. I think he's got the best country accent in the entire draft. The problem is he's pretty low on my board, if I remember correctly. I'm trying to find him here. Xavier Legette. Where are you at, sir? Now, you can never accuse me of being biased in the fact that I'm not willing to take Xavier Legette higher than he is on my board just because of the accent. I've got him in the 189 spot, gang. And I wish I had my board pulled up where I could explain why he's that low. There'll be another time for that. But Xavier Legette goes 42, and I've got him in the 189 spot. That's absolutely wild. Mike Sainristil is coming off the board next, cornerback. So I'll try to shut up and blow through these real quick. He's in the 58 spot for me. So that's about right, right there within the wheelhouse anyway. Not too bad of a reach. Michael Penix Jr. Michael Penix on my board is in the 29 spot. So that's great value there. Who took him? The Raiders. The Raiders went with Michael Penix Jr. So that's interesting for sure. Chris Braswell out of Alabama goes to the Saints, it looks like. So edge defender Chris Braswell. Let's go ahead and get him off the board. Oh. All righty. Chris Braswell is gone. There you go. Let's see. Zach Frazier, center out of West Virginia. One of the best centers in this draft, man. He's going to be solid. I've got him and Bo Lemer pretty close to each other here. So if we had to choose between the two and one flies off the board, we're feeling just as good about the other, in Bo Lemer there, according to my board. We got Peyton Wilson, linebacker, obviously coming off the board here. That's a lot of people's, favorite prospect in this draft for sure, is Peyton Wilson out of NC State. TJ Tampa goes in the 48 spot. Let's see where TJ Tampa is. This is one of Jacob's favorite guys in the draft for sure. I've got him 80th on my board, so no love lost there for me for sure. Patrick Paul comes off the board next. I got him in the 75 spot. Next, we have got Javon Bullard, another there's a safety that I think that's Jacob's top safety in the draft, if I remember correctly. I've got him in the 62 spot. He's my second best safety. So you see, we probably would have lost Tyler Nubin right there. That's a good point. So Tyler Nubin is significantly higher than Javon Bullard, who I have on the 62 spot on my board. Ricky Pearsall, wide receiver. Where's old Ricky Pearsall? Some people are really high on him, and I think he's kind of low on my board as well. Ricky Pearsall. Just bear with me here as I try to find him. So I'm pretty sure that when I found him the other day, I was like, man, he is way lower than most people have him, if I remember correctly. He may have been one that I already had off the board momentarily. Yeah, not seeing him here. If we come back across him, we'll know he's picked there. There was one that I accidentally deleted just a second ago when I was removing another player. Roman Wilson, wide receiver, is next. Love to see these receivers flying off the board before the Packers pick, man. Absolutely love to see that. Roman Wilson, wide receiver. I've got him in the 103 spot. So he is gone now, which is great news for us. Let's see. We got Braden Fisk, defensive lineman. I've got him significantly lower than most people. I've got him in the 85 spot. I see some people that have him really high, like in the top 30. But again, I've got him in the 85 spot. He's off the board now. Jatavian Sanders. So this is a good little exercise here. He comes off at 54. I've got him in the 24 spot. I think he's hands down the best tight end in this draft, no doubt about it. Did Christian Haynes fall to us? If Christian Haynes fell to us, you're going to hear me do the happy dance over here, ladies and gentlemen. Kyron Amagaji is next. Obviously, an offensive tackle. Let's see where he is at on my board. Let's get him out of the way here real quick. All right, got it. Next, you've got Jonathan Brooks, running back. Let's see where old Jonathan Brooks was. It's cool going into the offseason when we started to build the board. I really thought Jonathan Brooks would end up being one of my top running backs, if not my top running back. He landed in the 78 spot. And if I remember correctly, I think running backs for me start at 42 with Audric Estime and Blake Corum. So kind of interesting there. Max Melton's another one I'm going to get a lot of hate for. Max Melton goes here at 57. I've got him significantly lower on my board than everybody on the face of the earth. There's no doubt about that. Everybody seems to be really high on Max, and I'm not that big on him. I've got him in the 177 spot. Okay. I'm not saying he's not going to be a good corner. I just don't understand the whole hype around him being, in the first 2 rounds personally. I know he had a huge, I understand why it happened. It's because of the Senior Bowl performance, right? That's the main reason. So there you go. All right. We're on the clock at 58. So let's go back up and look and see. Like I said, we'll just this is the last spot we'll use for my big board. We might take a peek back at it. Hands down, the best player on my board, if he's still on here and we haven't overlooked anything, is Christian Haynes. So let's see if Christian Haynes is still on the board. He is the top interior offensive lineman. They got him in the 64 spot. We're taking him at 58. Guys, he's 27 on my board right now as it sits. So us taking Christian Haynes here, remember earlier we were trying to decide. That was the decision we made, Tyler Newbern or Christian Haynes. Well, you've seen Javon Bullard fly off the board there at number 50. So it's obvious that would have been Tyler Newbern's spot. So now we would have been picking between Javon Bullard. I'm assuming, there was no more safeties taken. We would be picking between Javon Bullard and Christian Haynes right now. And instead, we've already got the best safety in the draft, in my opinion, in Tyler Newbern. Now we get Christian Haynes, one of the better guards in the draft. We'll plug and play him at right guard. I am loving the way this draft has ended up. And again, to the best of my knowledge, Braylon Trice is still there, I believe. So another one, too, is Tavondre Sweat. I just noticed that. So there you go. Let's take Christian Haynes, guard out of Washington. I'm really, really liking this draft so far. So far, we got Johnny Newton, we got Tyler Newbern, and we got Christian Haynes. So shaping up pretty nice. I'm going to take a quick peek at my board. I'm not going to try to remove everyone. I'm just going to try to eliminate them on the surface here. Let's see if Braylon Trice is still there. He should be listed as an edge defender. It's looking like he is not. Let's see here real quick. Braylon Trice. Yeah, he's already gone. So Braylon Trice did go to the Atlanta Falcons. So that kind of gives you an idea. Him cutting all that weight, going to hurt his draft stock a bit. Looks like he went 74 there to the Falcons. So that's a good little, just a good little mental note there. Tavondre Sweat ended up going number 75 to the Chicago Bears. How about that, man? So obviously he's gonna fall a little bit with the personal issues we just talked about, but he's off the board now. So when you look at my board, we're looking for Cooper Beebe. Let's take a look and see if we see Cooper Beebe anywhere. Cooper Beebe is still there. Be a bit of a reach here according to PFF. I've got Cooper Beebe in the 36th spot. The problem is we already got our right guard, right? So if you're going interior offensive line, you'd be looking at kind of a center spot, right? Well, you got Bo Lemer sitting there. Okay, you've also got Cedric Von Prawn. Some people are going, hey, what about Cedric Von Prawn? I'm pretty sure I've got him lower, if I remember correctly. I've got Cedric Von Prawn in the 63 spot. I've got Bo Lemer in the 40 spot. So you can see that's a significant difference there when it comes to the center position, right? So as it sits right now, if Bo Lemer hasn't been taken, I'm assuming he hasn't. Let me just take a quick peek back here. Yeah, it looks like he has not been taken yet. Of course, we could just check. Yeah, he's right there, center, so we're good. All right. So what it comes down to is Cooper Beebe and Bo Lemer, right? And then obviously Bo Lemer, I would think, would get the nod over Cooper Beebe because we already got us a right guard. Trey Benson still on the board here. He is not. So Trey Benson is gone. So we can go ahead and remove him from my board. There you go. Chris Jenkins, defensive lineman. You guys know we talked about a mock draft, the article earlier today where they had the Packers taking Chris Jenkins a little later. It looks like he is already gone. I hope I'm not overlooking him here. Nope, he's gone. Okay, so Chris Jenkins is off the board. Get him out of here. All right, you got your other two running backs. I'm assuming Audric Estime and Blake Corum. They're on my board. Let's take a quick peek. Audric Estime is still there. Blake Corum is gone. And again, I'm kind of updating it here on the fly because I want to see, all right, here's what's the best available according to my board currently right now. Gabriel Murphy at edge. Let's take a look and see if he's still on the board. Gabriel Murphy, or is it Grayson Murphy? Grayson Murphy. Okay, I got a typo there. Let me change that real quick. Definitely need to change. I'm making a note. You're putting all this information in real quick, boys. Whew. Telling you, I've found so many errors on my boards this year. That's what happens when you get old, though. So Grayson Murphy out of UCLA. All right, cool. So he is still available for sure. So there he sits from UCLA, edge defender. Cade Stover, I'm sure, is probably still there. Let's not worry about that. Leonard Taylor, we're not going to take another defensive lineman. You got Kyron Amagaji already flew off the board, if I remember correctly. So we just overlooked him earlier. Junior Colson. Is Junior Colson still on the board? This is where it's going to get fun. I'm going to do 88-91 this way, and then we're going rapid fire to finish this thing up. Junior Colson is not on the board. So what we've learned here is we missed out on some solid linebackers, obviously. Now, keep in mind, I've got Cedric Gray kind of in the same ballpark here. He's not too far down. He's in the 64 spot. Colson was in the 52 spot, so he's still available. So we still got him to pull from. We're going to be picking at 91. Cedric Gray will definitely be there, right? So Cedric Gray is definitely going to be on the board. When we pick again at 91, we probably go with the other guy at the moment. I would like to get a mock linebacker. Cedric Gray and Junior Colson are the two mock linebackers in this draft. If somebody takes him before my next pick here, I'm trying to see needs. Needs don't really line up, right? The Bucs don't really need a mock linebacker that bad, and the Cardinals don't need one at all according to the system here. So we're going to go ahead and slot Cedric Gray in for our number 91 pick. So now it comes back to the current pick of 88. You got Cooper Beebe at the 36 spot. You got Bo Limmer, center at the 40 spot. You got Gabriel Murphy, edge defender. Grayson Murphy, edge defender there in the 45 spot. Leonard Taylor in the 48 spot. Mekhi Wingo in the 54 spot if he's still available. I don't even know if he is. Dominic Pooney is there as well. That's one that would be interesting if he's still on the clock or still on the board. Let's see if he's still there. Dominic Pooney, he is. All right, so he's still available. Go back to Mekhi real quick just to make sure. Mekhi Wingo, he's still there too. So we got some really solid picks here. Leonard Taylor's still there. And like I said, Grayson Murphy's still there. So tough decision, man. Right here, you got multiple players you'd be interested in. We're definitely going to take Cedric Gray with the number 91 pick. So what would be most important here, gang? We already got our guard. Do we get Bo Limmer, in my opinion, I think is the second best center in this draft according to my board? Or do we go with a halfback Audric Estime? Or do we go with another defensive lineman? I think it's pretty easy here. I'm going to go with Bo Limmer out of Arkansas. I'm going to go ahead and get the center, potentially the center of the future. Let him camp battle with our boy Josh Myers. Who knows? Maybe he smokes his head, comes out the other side, and we got a significant upgrade at the center position. Or if he doesn't beat him out, and next year, obviously next offseason, Josh Myers becomes a free agent, then you've got Bo Limmer to step right in and be your new starting center. So I'm going to pull the trigger here. His average draft position is 107. I'm going to take him at 98. I'm going to go Bo Limmer, center out of Arkansas. Again, he is in the 40 spot on my board. So now the question is, Cedric Gray still there? We're going to go ahead and get our linebacker. If he is, I'm going to take a look at the other linebackers too. Hands down, he's the best linebacker on my board here. There's no doubt about it. I've got him in the 64 spot. We're going to get him at 91. I know the average draft position is 134.4. You go to different databases, different mock draft setups. They're all going to be different across the board, right? So I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger here and go Cedric Gray. I'm loving this draft, man. I really am. So we'll go Cedric Gray out of North Carolina with our 91st pick. All right, so far, using our board, this is essentially what's happened, gang. And I'm going to wrap it up real quick in rapid fire fashion when it comes to kind of finishing up here on the PFF side. So we went with a defensive lineman in Johnny Newton. We went safety Tyler Newman, right? We went guard Christian Haynes, and then we went center Bo Limmer. All right, that's our picks so far. So we've already hit defensive line, safety, guard, and center. So I'm going to go ahead and close my draft board up, and we're just going to use PFF from here on out. And hopefully this looks all right. Boy, that made it look wonky, didn't it? I screwed that up. See if we can bring that back. Try to tighten that back up for you guys and gals real quick. There we go. That's a lot better. A little bit harder for me to read, but that's okay. All right, so here we are at 126. Pick 126. We're not going to do any trades. We're going all here for sure. Let's see where the best available position is so far. You got edge defender Xavier Thomas, safety Cole Bishop, which is a lot of people are really big on Cole Bishop. I wouldn't be opposed to taking another safety right now if that's the best player available. I kind of feel like we need to address cornerback. They've got Kamal Haddon as one of their top guys right now. I'm going to take a quick glance on my board and just see who the best cornerback available is. I'm big on DJ James. I'm going to take a look at these corners real quick. Big on DJ James. He is obviously gone. Okay. So let's just go ahead and slide him over. Josh Newton, I've gotten the 71 spot. Josh Newton is still there, average draft position of 138.3. It would definitely be a reach according to PFF. But again, if we were to kind of glance at my board, that would be a great pick, getting the 71st best talent on the vertical board. Yeah, at this spot, man, that's going to be tough. So if we were to look at him, and what other position have we not touched right now? We got linebacker too. Forgot about that. So we're good at linebacker. Not good, but we've kind of addressed it. Another position is probably offensive tackle. You're kind of looking for that swing tackle, right? Unless you have a lot of faith in Caleb Jones. So if you were to look at it, you got Christian Jones at tackle. He is significantly lower than our boy that we just mentioned, old Josh Newton. Yeah, he's way down there. So yeah, that's pretty wild. Christian Jones, they are a lot higher on than I am, evidently. Let me see if we can find where Christian Jones is. I'm not seeing him. I'm thinking he's pretty low though. All right, cool. We'll just move along. Let's go Josh Newton here. I know it seems like a bit of a reach, but he won't be available when we pick again. I think he's better than Haddon, me personally. Kamal Haddon out of Tennessee. So I'm going to go Josh Newton here at corner. So we get cornerback address there. All right. Now we go rapid fire. I'm not even going to look back at my board. I ain't going to do it to y'all. All right. We're just going to go rapid fire here. Let's see what we got. Actually, if I can pull this over, I hope I don't screw the whole thing up. If I can pull that over, and it'll stay the same width. Yeah, now we can go full screen. Here we go. All right, cool. That way I can actually see the chat a little bit, gang. We can chat here with you. What are you guys thinking right here? Again, what we've already taken, and I hate that PFF doesn't show what we've already taken, but it probably would. I'm sure there's a screen there. Yeah, let me get back over to this tab real quick. All right. Yeah, so we've taken defensive line, safety, guard, center, linebacker, corner. Kind of feel like we just need to focus on best player available here. Let's see here what we got going on. What we got cooking. You got J.D. Bertrand, linebacker out of Notre Dame. Joe Milton, quarterback. Javen Foster, tackle out of Missouri. Safety James Williams. Halfback Dylan Johnson. When we talk about needs, obviously the needs that we needed to fill were cornerback, linebacker, offensive line, defensive line, edge, halfback, and safety. So you potentially be looking for another linebacker here, right? Really, linebacker, safety, corner, I feel like are the top needs where we sit right now. I'm not very big on J.D. Bertrand, if I remember correctly. I want to say J.D. Bertrand was kind of low on my board. And actually, let's see if our boy Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is still there. I'm eager to see where he's at. No, he's long gone. Got it. Okay. So, yeah, none of these linebackers, other than Trayvon Wallace and the fact that the 33rd team is so high on him, that's the only one I would kind of, but you're kind of going against the PFF grain here if you do that. So let's go linebacker. Let's go safety. Let's go corner and see if we can attack this thing. J.D. Bertrand is hands down the best player available there. Nobody's really grabbing my attention here. If we went best player available according to PFF, that's definitely the route we would go. We went tackle and added tackle into the mix. It's still J.D. Bertrand. So it's tough. What are you guys thinking here, chat? Talk to me. Who would you like here? You see the top players available, and I've got it kind of sorted by positions of need. You know what? Let's go ahead and add halfback in there too, just to see. As far as tailback, Dylan Johnson, Vidal. Yeah. It's a tough one here. It's a tough spot. If I had access to my board right now and we took the time to do it, it'd probably be a little bit easier one. United Bates says take a look at McLaughlin. Coach Lynn says add a corner. So let's look at McLaughlin real quick, cornerback. Holy cow, look at you, Bates. Look at you. PFF grades the last 3 years, 69, 77, 91. Now, keep in mind, only 382 defensive snaps, so a smaller sample size there, right? Am I thinking right? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he had 900 the year before, so something must have happened there. Probably some kind of injury or something. He only played 9 games in 2023, but, man, he showed some promise for sure. Played the corner 349 snaps, so he's definitely just an outside corner is what it's looking like. So Dwight McLaughlin would be good. Yeah, corner tackle, Mark Zambito says. So McLaughlin right now would probably be our pick. Let's take a look at Javen Foster, make sure we're not missing anything. Whoo, looky here, boys. This is going to be tough. So we're talking about having a swing tackle, right? You got someone, maybe you can get someone to compete with Rasheed Walker, but also at the same time, say you have Rasheed Walker rises to the occasion. You could have Javen Foster here play your swing tackle position and be that backup left tackle. In 2021, 80, 80, then 84. He's gotten better every single year. Pass block grade through the roof. Run block grade 85.8 is even better. Zone grade 91. Holy cow. Yeah, I can't pass up on this game. We're going to go with Javen Foster here. We kind of need that swing tackle, and I understand what you're saying with the corner too. There, Bates and Coach Lynn. Dwight McLaughlin will be pretty solid pick there as well. The problem is there's a better chance of McLaughlin being there than there is Javen Foster, right? So let's go Javen Foster. We're going to go offensive tackle Javen Foster out of Missouri. So we went O tackle there. Bates is going to sign off and say, "Screw you, Clayton. I'm going home." But that's the route we're going to go here. All right, so up next spot, let's see here. I agree. Coach Lynn said Foster is a Packer top. Bates says, I don't disagree. I didn't know Foster had such good numbers. I didn't either. And that's the great thing about these exercises, Bates, is you can kind of uncover a little more information than you have before. I know some people look at mock drafts like they're a big waste of time. If you're doing it to just try to dunk on people and say, my draft's better than yours, I think they are a waste of time. If you're doing it to gather intel, well, this player is constantly available in this spot. Oh, let's look at the numbers. Holy cow, this dude's a monster. He's a beast, right? So, Mark Zambito says Mark Foster down for the future. All right, up next, best corner available is Devonshire according to PFF. Don't like the numbers very well there, though. He took a huge dip last year with 61. So let's go back to the positions of need. I won't put tackle on there anymore. Let's go back to running back. Let's go to corner. Let's go safety for depth. We still need us a backup edge, seeing that Kingsley Enagbare is going to be hurt for a good portion of the year. And let's go linebacker, too, just for good measures. Still Chambers pops up. PFF is booty cheeks, right? Frank Gore Jr. there. Man, this might be our pick, guys. Frank Gore Jr. starting in 2021, PFF grade 77, 91, 88. His zone grade. What do we run? Zone run, right, guys? His zone grade, 89.6. So right now, Frank Gore Jr. is in the lead for me. Here's Tyron Hopper. That's a guy that the Packers actually set up for a top 30 visit. Could be a smokescreen. 60, 77, 51. Not a big fan there. Jace McClellan. We're not looking at any more running backs. We know Frank Gore is the truth if we go that route. Here we go. Omar Brown, safety. Starting in 2021. 83, dipped down to a 64, jumped right back up to an 82. Coverage grade, 84.5. Run defense, 74.3. Snaps by alignment. He played in the slot 434 snaps. And like Coach Lynn just pointed out, Omar Brown actually visited with the Packers. That's a Senior Bowl guy too. Bingo. We have that short list here somewhere. I do these exercises for a reason, and I just chuck the paper over to the side like a moron. So I don't have him listed as being on both lists, but I could be wrong there. Omar Brown might be the pick here. So it really comes down to Omar Brown and Frank Gore Jr. We won't look any further. I like those two picks. Omar Brown's projected to go, or average draft position's 215. We got a pick coming up at 219. Frank Gore's is 209. Man, that's tough. Which one's more important? A safety that can play the slot and be your backup safety, or do you go Frank Gore Jr. halfback? Now we got Lee 86 saying Gore Jr. over Jace McClellan. No way. Let's take a look at Jace just to make sure. Played for a big program, didn't he? Look at the grades. 74, 77, 79. Nowhere near Frank Gore Jr. Of course, he probably played some higher talent, right? His zone grade is just about at the median line. You see that right there? So his zone, he's more of a gap runner with an 83 grade at gap and 76 at zone. So I would take Frank Gore Jr. over Jace McClellan. I got to respectfully disagree there, Lee, but appreciate your opinion, Bubba. Let's see. I need to chat here. I got it narrowed down to two. Frank Gore Jr. or Omar Brown. We got to go quick. What are we thinking here, gang? Frank Gore Jr., running back, or Omar Brown, versatile safety that can play the slot. Bates, Lynn, you've been the most active in here. Zambito, same. Who are we thinking here? Zambito says Brown, right? So Pete M says, I don't care who it is. We just need to go safety. J. Cole says Gore Jr., and they're coming in quick. Brown, safety, Omar Brown. Isaiah Davis slipped in there. I like it. I like the enthusiasm. Brown. Looks like Brown. It's a runaway. Let's go Omar Brown here, safety. So we got us a safety / slot there. That's really exciting. All right, now we are at pick 219, right? 219. Jace McClellan's still on the board there. Frank Gore Jr. is now gone. There's Tanner Bordolini. We have taken defensive line, safety, guard, center, linebacker, cornerback, offensive tackle, and a hybrid safety / slot there. So we're still needing running back, right? I'm going to go ahead and remove safety for the moment. I'm going to put cornerback back up. We're going to put edge up there because we need us a backup edge. And we're going to put linebacker up there in case someone pops up. So right now you got Jace McClellan, running back out of Alabama. You got Mayan Williams. We already looked at McClellan. Williams is, his zone grade, his cheeks there last year. Man, he must have got hurt or something. Only 49 attempts. He hasn't gotten a whole lot of attempts, has he? I don't like that pick. Not enough experience for me there. There's Isaiah Davis. I know many people are big on Isaiah Davis. Golly, rightfully so. I know he played for the Jackrabbits, but my goodness. Zone grade 91.1. Rushing grade 96.8. Gap grade too, 94.5. Elusiveness rating 139.3. This is one of those guys that Jacob pointed out, I believe. Jacob and Tim did, and we did a deep dive on him. This might be the pick here. He's the top running back for me right now. Isaiah Davis is the top running back. If we wanted to look at corner, nope, that's Cheeks. Not going to do it. And A.J. Woods, no offense, sir. Marcellus Dial, 79.1. You get your top linebacker, it's going to be Curtis Jacobs from Penn State. Grades aren't great there. Keep in mind, too, we brought back Eric Wilson. We brought back Isaiah McDuffie. You also got Christian Welch. We already drafted a linebacker in Cedric Gray. So I feel like we're not very light at linebacker, although Trayvon Wallace would be an interesting one. He's pretty high on my board. This would be a great quality pick according to the 33rd team in my board, but not necessarily PFF. I'm going to include him here because we won't have a shot at him with the next pick. So here's who we're going to decide between, guys. We're going to decide between. I need the chat to pick it. We're either going to go Isaiah Davis out of South Dakota State. All right. And yeah, I agree. Coach Lynn says Davis is a Packers guy. There's no two ways about him. And that zone top run, obviously his former teammate there, Tucker Kraft, I believe they played together unless he was just a last year transfer to South Dakota State. So that would be kind of cool. Keep that pop line going there. So it's between Isaiah Davis and Trayvon Wallace, linebacker, just because I know how high he is on my board and other boards. Matter of fact, I'll comb through real quick and tell you exactly where he's sitting on my board to give you guys a better idea. He's lower on my board, obviously, than the 33rd team. I've got him in the 175 spot, so he'd definitely be worthy of this pick at 219. So who would you guys rather have, Isaiah Davis or Trayvon Wallace here? You pick. Let's go to the chat. Davis is a Packer guy. M. Smitty says Davis. William D. Lofton Sr. says Davis. Wallace is good, right? Mentioning Trayvon Wallace is another one. Mark Zambito. J. Cole says Davis. Pete M. says Davis. Coach Lynn says Davis. I like what United Bates is saying right here. United Bates says Davis and Hope Wallace is there at 245. I like it. It's possible for sure, right? All right, let's do it. Let's go Isaiah Davis here, running back out of South Dakota State. So we got us our halfback. We now have 4 halfbacks on the roster. I would imagine Emmanuel Wilson's going to hop on and off the practice squad. You'll probably protect someone like Isaiah Davis if you were to draft him for sure. So, all right, now let's talk about needs here. We got our halfbacks. We don't have to include that this time. So now what we're going to include is, let's go cornerback. Let's go. We already took 2 safeties, so I'm gonna keep safety off this time. Let's go edge. And let's go linebacker. First of all, Trayvon Wallace is there. There's nothing to decide here, right? You got it, William. William D. Lofton Sr. says Wallace is there. Bang. Let's do it. Let's pull the trigger on Trayvon Wallace. I personally don't think he's going to be there. He's one of the mock linebackers in this draft. The 33rd team has him as the 3rd best mock in this draft. But, hey, if they're going to let him drop all the way to 245 to us, we're going to take him. So there's your another linebacker. Your linebacking room got a lot better, I feel like, than we were previously worried about. We picked up 2 mock linebackers in Cedric Gray and Trayvon Wallace. You've got McDuffie, you've got Wilson, you got Welch, and, of course, the superstar. I'm hoping he really, really flashes in this 4-3 defense under Jeff Hafley, Quay Walker. If you can get Quay Walker at the wheel, because now you've got you a true mock in Cedric Gray, that's exciting stuff. So, all right, pick 255, guys. I'm not even going to put the needs up there. Let's just go best player available, I guess. Was there anything we didn't touch? Let me back up here a minute. We got defensive line. We got safety, 2 safeties. We got a guard. We got a center. We got a linebacker. We got a cornerback. We got an offensive tackle. We got a slot safety hybrid. We got a halfback. We got a linebacker. Edge. Need to get us an edge here, guys. Let's see what the edge room looks like. Whew, don't know any of these names. Let's take a quick peek, though. PFF grade, 63.76 for Brian Ugwa, I think is how you say it, out of Miami of Ohio. Next guy, grades aren't pretty. Miles Cole, grades aren't pretty. Looks like we're coming away from this draft with that one's not deep. That's not too bad. Oki Anama, out of Charlotte 49ers. Is that really their name? The Charlotte 49ers? What the crap? His PFF grade, 72, 73, 71, so that's not bad if we were just to key in on edge. It's looking like he is the best grade-wise. Let's look at his size real quick. There's got to be a knock on him, right? 6'5", 244, a little light in the loafers there. We'd have to put a little weight on him, about 20 pounds. If we were to go edge here, that would be my pick, Anoma. Let's see what the chat's saying. Many people are saying offensive lineman, saying we need 3. All right, let's do that. Let's pop those guys up there real quick. Maybe we'll find us a stud. Let's go interior and offense. We're not going to take another center because we got 2 on the roster, right? Here's Leviston, Cheeks. Let's see, Delmar Glaze, 71, 73, 73 out of Maryland. That one looks pretty decent. Let's go down to Belton. No. So right now, Delmar Glaze is the front runner at offensive line. That's a center too. J.C. Davis. Ooh, looky here. A little upside. 66th and 84 last year. J.C. Davis playing for the New Mexico. Many people saying Glaze. J. Cole's asking for Grable. Is Grable there? Good question, buddy. I'm not seeing him here. Yeah, it looks like he must be gone. So what are we thinking here, guys? Are we going Glaze or should we go with Ugwa? You want to go offensive tackle Glaze or edge defender Ugwa here? And then we'll wrap this thing up. People are saying get Glaze. All right. Coach Lynn says tight end Wiley. Is Wiley still on the board there, Coach? He is, Jared Wiley. That's interesting. Some people are really high on him. 6'7", 260 pounds. That is wild. PFF grade 60, 76, 68. I love people in the chat. Mark Zambito, O-line. Just go O-line. There you go. Number one Packer fan. Hey, chill out on my 49ers. LOL. I'd never heard of them, man. I apologize. Let's see. He can run. Also talking about Wiley. All right, guys. It's going to be between Wiley and Glaze. What do we think here? Wiley or Glaze? I know Coach Lynn's on Wiley. Pete M is on Glaze. Dave MX6 is on Glaze. So Glaze is 2-1 right now. Glaze or Wiley, guys? Glaze or Wiley? It's 2-1 Glaze right now. Final pick's always the toughest, man. We're at the 58-minute mark. We did good. All right, there you go. William D. Lofton Sr. says go tight end. So it's now tied up between Glaze and Wiley. J. Cole says Glaze. Mark Zambito says Wiley. It's still tied up. M. Smitty says Glaze. So now Glaze has the edge. One more vote, guys. We get up to, I already included yours, William. Glaze is up once. United Bates says Glaze. Number one Packer fan. You're trying to keep me in there all day, bub. He says Ugwa. I think it's Glaze, guy. Yeah, it's Glaze. Glaze has got it. So, all right, there you go. We're going to go Delmar Glaze out of Maryland. Again, PFF grade 71, 73, 73. First look, 6'5", 328 pounds. That's a hoss of a man. Let's do it. Delmar Glaze, tackle out of Maryland. So we got us another offensive tackle with the last pick in the draft. So there is how the mock draft ended up. Let's go ahead and grab us a screenshot of this. We got us a B+, not bad considering I used my board. Johnny Newton, at number 25, we took defensive lineman Johnny Newton out of Illinois. At number 41, we took safety Tyler Newman out of Minnesota. Number 58, we took Christian Haynes, guard out of Connecticut. Number 88, we took center Bo Limmer out of Arkansas. Number 91, we took linebacker Cedric Gray. They give us an F for that one. You can, whatever. I don't care what you say about Cedric Gray. 126, we went cornerback Josh Newton. 169, we went Javen Foster, tackle out of Missouri. 202, we went safety Omar Brown, kind of a hybrid safety out of Nebraska. 219, we went halfback Isaiah Davis out of South Dakota State, just a zone run monster. 245, we went linebacker Traven Wallace. I don't think he'll ever be there, but if he is, that would be absolutely awesome. Out of Kentucky. And then at 255, we got tackle Delmar Glaze out of Maryland. So we got us a B+. Not too bad, guys. Could have been worse, right? Could have been a lot worse. So there you go, man. Cool. We're at the hour mark. Look at that. We did it. We did it, guys. We absolutely did it. So appreciate y'all jumping on here with me and kind of riding this thing out, man. This was a lot of fun. It's always fun to just get on here and talk a little ball with you guys. And just like I said, a little mid-afternoon look. And I agree. Yeah, everybody's saying good draft. You can't have enough O-line. Yeah, I agree, man. Mark Zambito, good draft. Coach Lynn approves. He says solid. Ron Sanville says he likes it. I think it's pretty good, man. Not bad. Not a bad little draft. So, all right, we're out of here, guys. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Again, I just wanted to get through that early rounds with my board and kind of see how that laid out. I'll share this on the show tonight. I know we're going to get into some Johnny or some Tavondre Sweat talk and kind of talk about how that may or may not affect the draft moving forward. If you guys would hit that like button for us, hit sub on the channel. We appreciate y'all. The likes help boost the algorithm so other Packer fans can find this channel, find this content. If you haven't done that and you're watching on Twitter, you can click on my Twitter profile real quick. You'll see a YouTube link that'll send you directly to the channel where you can like and subscribe right there. We greatly appreciate it. So we will see you guys this evening for PTA Live with Gang. I'm sure to get out of control like it always does. Here we go. William Lofton says, hey, Clayton, look out for my mock draft in the morning. We'll be looking for it, buddy. Make sure you send it to me on Twitter. All right, for sure. Yeah. All right. We're out, guys. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us. For those of you listening on the pod, thank you for making us a part of your day. And we will see you tonight. Everybody have a wonderful afternoon. I'll actually see you here in about, an hour and a half. Y'all take care.
The power sweep. Actually, it's the lead play in our offense. Yes, our YN or a tight end to open up somewhere between 6 feet and 9 feet. Get an isolation with the linebacker. Become a tackle to take the defensive end if he's over him. If he's not, to drive down on the first man to his inside. If the YN has the linebacker taken out, he cuts inside. If the YN has the linebacker in, he comes all the way around. If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here. Try to run this play in the alley.
The first taste of rare bourbon you finally got your hands on. That's nice. At Caskers.com, we make this experience easy. Caskers is a one-stop spirit curator with an impressive selection of exclusive, sought-after, rare, and household names in the realm of premium spirits and champagne. Discover the top flavors of the year now by going to Caskers.com and using code WELCOME10 for $10 off your first purchase. Get $10 off your first purchase with code WELCOME10 at Caskers.com.